not to read from my notes, but I'm holding them for security reasons. Can people hear? Yeah. And I'll probably underrun. Zen doesn't have the answers to the global crisis that we're in, and it doesn't have the solutions to anybody's personal problems, which to me is a bit of a relief. Because as humans, we're really good at having strategies and solutions and deals, at taking positions and having fixed opinions and being right. My original Zen teacher used to quote Clint Eastwood, who once said, apparently, opinions are like assholes, everybody's got one. Without a spiritual practice, I think it's very difficult to know that it's possible not to hold a position, to not know, and to not have an opinion on absolutely everything. Like all the other authentic wisdom traditions, Zen offers a way to reconnect to who we really are, to realise that the small, fearful, separate self that we identify with, cling to, and fight against is an illusion. And that's simple enough, but it's not easy. It's not easy to wake up to the truth that I don't exist as a separate solid self, that nothing is permanent, secure, solid, and everlasting. We don't want to, I often don't want to, we want something to hold on to, or to stay comfortably unconscious. Besides, the conditioned sense of self, the dualistic thinking mind is relentless. As the Buddhist teacher Reggie Ray once said, it's a piece of work. Luckily, traditional Zen practice offers a series of robust containers to help loosen the grip of the ego, to free us up to meet the next moment with ease and fluidity. The lineage itself, the teachings, the Sangha, form, ritual are all containers. But the most fundamental container in Zen practice is Zazen, seated meditation. Zazen is the core practice of Zen Buddhism. I'm losing my voice. Zazen is the core practice of Zen meditation, Zen practice. As it's difficult to soften and release the fear in our system that keeps us in this seemingly solid shape if there's nothing to let go into. And Zazen is a superlative container. In incredibly strong and stable posture allows us to deeply connect to the earth. It feels so fundamental. And then without distraction and with the added containment of sangha and form, in that grounded place, the nervous system can start to regulate, start to calm down. We can start to be present. And the strong vertical of the spine allows the heart to open. To me, that's what the Christian cross represents energetically, that strong vertical. And if we haven't got that, if we're not grounded, we can't come from here. It's hard. Roshi Joan Halifax, who has a very strong socially engaged practice, often teaches the principle of strong back, soft front. And so as we learn to sit, to stay with whatever is arising, we can begin to cultivate that, the ability to listen with the whole body and the heart. Unlike the dualistic thinking mind, the heart is it's an organ that can receive and feel and allow information to pass through. It's like a giant ear, and it has a huge range. As far as I know, it is only through a practice of deep inquiry and somatic connection to the earth that we can let go of needing to hold a fixed position and respond to whatever is unfolding in front of us. When the 10th century Chan master Umon was asked, what are the teachings of a lifetime? He said, an appropriate response. And the ability to discern what is appropriate to a given task or moment may seem spontaneous, but it's likely to have been cultivated over a long time. That's what Buddhist practice offers. Buddhist practice helps us to develop wise judgment or intelligent discernment, prajna, and over time this can become more and more intuitive. No one can tell you what your appropriate response to the planetary crisis, to anything, should be. Zen certainly won't. If it did, it would be a bit stinky. There's a phrase in Zen, which is the stink of Zen, and that describes Zen, but overly spiritual, and who perhaps knows what other people should do. So when it comes to responding to this moment of global crisis, I think all these things are gifts, tried and trusted containers that help us soften into a reconnection with the earth and the heart, to deeply listen from there, to not know, to not hold a fixed position, to be able to act freely without fear. And to finish, I'll just say a little bit about my experience of taking Zazen onto the street. I don't want to be stinky, it's not for everyone. But I really love the practice of sitting and walking in meditation on the street. The first time I did that was in 2011 during the Occupy movement. And I remember sitting outside with others outside St Paul's Cathedral, and it was fantastic. Then in 2019 I connected with Extinction Rebellion Buddhists and have done several meditation actions with scents outside various Barclays banks, Trafalgar Square, Downing Street, outside the Royal Courts of Justice. It's moving and it feels like a powerful thing to do. I can't tell you what it's doing, but it feels good. I'm acutely aware that there are many places in the world where it's probably not possible to do that, and very dangerous to do a meditation action on the street. But for the moment, in this country, depending on what sign you might be holding, we can do that. And that alone, for me, is reason enough to do it, because we can. It's also another opportunity just to practice without any agenda. And it's harder to go to sleep when you're surrounded by traffic. And it feels good to move out of our sort of silos of our individual centres and traditions and temples, and to meet and be with practitioners from other traditions. As helpful as the idea of the container is, there is a shadow side to all that as well. So, sitting in these separate traditions can start to feel a bit too tight, a bit too stagnant, a bit too stinky. And finally, taking our practice onto the street means becoming more visible to people who are perhaps not practicing or not engaged in the crises that are unfolding. So it feels that there's an offering there of something a little bit different. People can see that there's an alternative to taking sides and shouting. I think being on the street, sitting on the street, you sort of have a sense, or I've had a sense, that something quite subtle is happening, and people are interested and maybe feel a certain pull towards the possibility of just sitting down and being quiet, and from that place starting to reconnect and slow down, and then letting the heart open, and then responding from that place. So I hope I've underrun.
You have. It's very zen.